Hi all, this is Once and Future Gamer and welcome to another Pokemon Challenge. Last time was a fun romp through Pokemon Silver as we sought to see if I could beat it with just a single Pidgey, with interesting results. Today though, we head back into Gen 3 and see if I can beat Pokemon Emerald using just a single Taillow. Let's talk about Taillow. We have a 270 base stat total, with 85 of that being in speed. Our defence and special stats are both at 30, which is worrying, but at least our physical attack is okay-ish. 270 is the same as Dreepy, Jigglypuff, Wingull, Wooloo and Yamper, amongst others. We're normal and flying type, so once again we're weak to rock, electric and ice. We are immune to ghost and ground, plus we resist bug and grass. Move-wise, we don't get much via our level up move set. Double Team might be something for the long term, but we'll have to see. Aerial Ace might also be something that I end up keeping over the course of the run, and given some of our opponents like to use Double Team in this game, that will be nice. I am looking at you, Hoenn's Kingdra. TM-wise, we don't get much, but we do get Steel Wing for coverage, so we should be at least able to hit rock types reasonably hard. There is also perhaps the single most important move in there that we could end up with, but for once it's not return. Now aren't you intrigued? Hopefully we get a useful hidden power. We don't get much via Move Tutor either. Mud Slap would be coverage, but it's Mud Slap, so I reckon we can muddle along without it. Also, we kinda have to do that because it is post-game. Predictions. Do I even have to go into how bad I think the Rock Gym might be? I can see us having to be at least level 20 to have even a reasonable chance. The Fighting Gym should be easy, but the Electric Gym will probably be absolutely horrible too. The Psychic Gym probably won't be pleasant, but bar maybe Glacier and Drake, the rest of the game shouldn't be that bad. The rules then. In combat, I can only use Taillow. Other Pokemon will be needed for HMs but unable to fight. Only held items and Pokeballs in combat, but healing is permitted outside of battle. And last of all, no glitches or exploits. If you do enjoy what you see, like, subscribe and ring that bell. I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Torchic with Taillow, so that I can do the whole run with it. I chose to replace Torchic so that the rival would have Mudkip, which is the only one that we can't do super effective damage to with our flying moves. That is about as solid a reason as it gets, so it's what we work with. I save Professor Birch when Taillow 2 hits the Zigzagoon with Peck, and he duly gives me the regional bird of the Hoenn region to work with, and we are underway. I nicknamed Taillow Arrow, and we are ready to go. We've got the Guts ability, might be useful, and the Serious nature, which is neutral. So, I guess I'll take it then. Could be worse, I'd have preferred Adamant, but I will take what I can get. I need to begin the grind for the Rock Gym, so I do some EV training on the road to the May fight, going in and cutting down the local Poochyena and Zigzagoon population for funsies. I wish there were less Wurmple around here, as I'm not looking for the EVs that they give. Such is life. How dare Game Freak not put specific training spots right at the start of an 18-year-old game. Anywho, the May fight. It takes a few moments to get to her, thanks to being attacked on the way, but we can eventually face off with her Mudkip. It survives 2 pecks, but goes down to the third one, only hitting a growl and a tackle in exchange, neither of which do particularly much of an impact upon us. There will be harder fights with her ahead, I suppose. The Rock Gym is first, and this is always an issue, unless we have a super effective, well, even a neutral effective move is nice. We can learn Steel Wing via TM, but unfortunately it's not until just after this fight. I do okay versus the Geodude in the gym, so I guess we should make a try at level 21 and see how it plays out. I'm not entirely confident though. I think they're going to deal too much damage to us. I go for a Focus Energy first turn and we lose nearly half our health thanks to Rock Tomb. This already looks bad. We do maybe a third with Wing Attack, we survive a second Rock Tomb, and then we do another third of its health with another wing attack, and then go down to a third Rock Tomb. Not a notable start then, let me think about this. I come back over a few levels higher, and I figure I may try Double Team, since we've learned it naturally. I don't think it's going to save us long term though. They're going to have to miss an awful lot. Let's make a few tries and see. I make maybe half a dozen attempts where our double team strategy doesn't work at all, and as a result, we slowly get taken down by a barrage of rock tombs and rock throws, because clearly they've got a will of their own when being used by an opponent. Eventually though, we do get a run where we get 6 double teams and a focus energy up versus the first Geodude, and that's a bit of a relief, especially as we're not in bad condition as we go into the focus energy ready to attack. We don't get too many crits, but I suppose it's better than nothing. First Geodude goes down to 2 wing attacks, the second being a crit, which is good since it had gone for defense curl. The second Geodude takes some wing attacks and lands an attack of its own, which puts us on 2 hit points. Perhaps the only positive thing to come from this fight is that she burns her potions, both of them, which means that we can go into Nose Pass knowing that a single hit will probably crush us. Thankfully though, Nose Pass misses every single attack over the course of the round, and we even managed to get another crit to wear it down. Of course, it does have the berry, which makes it survive a bit longer, but at least it doesn't have a ton of health. We worked that out a few weeks back. Nose Pass is all defense, but we can break through it to take it down and garner the first badge. Before I leave Rustboro, there's an optional rival fight, which I jump at the chance to take. I figure we are probably going to win relatively easily, and so we set about May with our souped up Taillow. This is one of the runs where she has the Torkoal, and that thing is bulky, taking about half its health in damage from wing attack before it begins to curse. Yeah, I'd be cursing too if this giant swallow was trying to hit me with its wings. It survives another wing attack, curses again before we finish it with our quick attack. Mudkip is next and goes down to a single wing attack. Not too bad, let's keep going. The fighting gym is up next, and I really don't have any sort of worries or concerns about this one. As far as the run goes, this should probably be the easiest major fight of the lot. I think it's a case of how long it will last rather than if I can do it or not. I mean, if not for the loading screens, I'd think a 10-second knockout. Machop goes down to wing attack, that's one. Meditite tries to charge up Focus Punch, but we take it out with wing attack, that's 2. Last is Makahita, and yep, wing attack, we drop it and take the badge. I'm actually far less worried about the Cycling Road rival fight than I am the Electric Gym, so I think I'll need as many levels as possible going towards said gym. So, while we are here, let's have this throwdown with May. Lombre is out first, and we one-hit that with wing attack before the next opponent is Slugma, and we crash into that with another wing attack. I'm not even bothered if it has Flame Body as an ability, I welcome the burn. Last is Marsh Stomp, and it is a bit harder. It survives our wing attack, but we do drop it at the second attempt after we get hit with a water gun for pretty meagre damage to give us the win. Watson then. I'm really not looking forward to this fight. I think it could be worse than the Roxanne one, since we can't get out of jail with Double Team here, thanks to his Pokemon knowing Shockwave. There is one small thing that might come into play, so we will have to see. This fight is super close, which is weird considering we have got nearly a 20 level advantage. Voltorb goes down to quick attack before Electrike comes in next, and we also one-hit that with quick attack. We're holding the Silk Scarf, so our normal moves do more damage since Aerial Ace is resisted. We managed to one-hit Manectric with quick attack through a crit, which is fantastic, and so that leaves Magneton. We land a quick attack and then get paralysed by Thunder Wave. Our Guts ability activates and our next quick attack does big damage, possibly putting it into knockout range, but Shockwave does just so much damage to us, it's not even funny. Still, we land a final quick attack, and it just survives narrowly before taking us out. Oh, come on! A few levels should do it, I guess. I make a handful more attempts and we keep getting brick-walled by Magneton at the end. Or should that be steel-walled? I don't even know if that makes sense. I think we need to be strong enough to be able to two-hit it with Guts Boosted Quick Attack and hope that we don't get struck with paralysis. So, off back onto the grind trail I go. I come back at level 47. It takes 2 attempts, but I get a run where pretty much everything goes to plan. There are fine margins for error here because one misstep will spell our doom. I need to be paralysed, but not get fully paralysed, which is a risky strategy. Voltorb and Electrike go down to Quick Attack, and we go into the fight with Manectric without being paralysed. We're just short of one-hitting Manectric with Quick Attack, and it lands Thunder Wave before eating the Citrus Berry to heal. We don't get paralysed though, and drop it with another Quick Attack. We do over half on Magneton with Quick Attack, and for whatever reason, it never goes for Shockwave this time, missing a Supersonic and landing a Sonic Boom. Weird. We never get fully paralysed either, which is massive. Watson does heal Magneton with a Super Potion after we fail to knock it out, but we can go on the offensive again for the win. Next major fight is the Mount Chimney Maxi one, so we best prepare for that since it's never particularly fun if I'm honest. Mind you, we've got enough levels that it likely isn't going to be an issue. Let's not talk about the mild heart attack I had on the way here when I nearly forgot to cancel Arrow's evolution. That would have been so bad because I hadn't saved since like before the Rock Gym. Mighty Hyena survives our Aerial Ace thanks to Intimidate and hits Sand Attack. We land another Aerial Ace after Maxi heals it to put the Dark Doggo on red health. We miss a Quick Attack and then get hit with Bite, but another Quick Attack drops it. Zubat goes down to Aerial Ace before Camerupt is Outlast, and I just keep on Aerial Acing, watching him use a Focus Energy as well as heal his Volcanic Camel. Eventually, we drop it with a final attack for the win. Fire Gym is next, and it's time to take on Flannery. Getting burned wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but our health wouldn't thank us, since we take massive damage from burns. I found that out. I always hate navigating this gym. I kinda know the way, but I kinda always forget where I have to go to, so it's never a good combination. Let's work our way through and see how we do versus the feisty Ginger. This is close, but ultimately we come up just short, which is annoying. Nummel goes down to Aerial Ace, which might be expected, before Slugma also goes down to Aerial Ace. Camerupt is third and actually survives Aerial Ace, hitting a tackle, which isn't too bad, before she heals it. We take it out with 2 quick attacks. Torkoal is last. It tanks one of our Aerial Ace attacks, and then she goes for Sunny Day. I have a feeling I know what is coming next, as it survives our second Aerial Ace on a sliver of health, and then we get one hit from almost full health with Overheat. Well, boo! I will try again soon after. I figure a little more power will do us wonders. I come back at level 55 and I'll see if this does us any sort of better when it comes down to it. This time is a lot smoother of a fight as we Aerial Ace our way through her team, striking down first Nummel with the move before the Slugma comes out second and also gets tagged with Aerial Ace for a knockout. Camerupt is a one hit with Aerial Ace this time before Torkoal is last. It does survive the Aerial Ace and go for Body Slam, but we survive and drop her with a crit Aerial Ace for badge number 4. Next gym should be interesting as we head into the normal gym for the face-off with our father, and I'm not looking forward to the fight with Slacking because I think that thing will probably mess us up badly. Now, it's a strangely apt prediction because everything goes well up until that point. Spinder is a one hit with Aerial Ace before Vigoroth is out next, and we also one hit that with Aerial Ace. Hoenn survives our aerial ace on a sliver, so when he heals, I take the chance to get some double teams up. Not that it does us any good. I get Norman to burn his potions on the Hoenn as we go into the next round with Slacking, who completely ignores our double teams to land Yawn, Facade, and finally, though not unfairly in that last case, Feint Attack to end us. The Yawn ends it as a contest. If we'd not been put to sleep, we might have stood a chance. I did hit a Steel Wing, hoping for a defence boost, but no dice. I think we might be able to do it at this level, you know. Just a matter of trying, I guess. The next attempt is doomed to fail when Slacking counters our Steel Wing, which isn't helpful because, no doubt, if I'd gone for double team there, it would have yawned us. I do like Slacking, but that's annoying. Next attempt, I learn from it. Spinder, once again, is a one hit with Aerial Ace before the Vigoroth comes out next, and it's nice to have an easy fight with Vigoroth in a challenge for once, as we drop it with Aerial Ace. I take Hoenn out with a crit Steel Wing before the final opponent, once again, is Slacking. Every time it can attack, I go for double team and watch the counter fail. That's all it tried to do, and it kept on failing as, when it went on to the Truant turn, that's when I picked my chances to attack, smashing into it with Aerial Ace and Steel Wing attacks. Although, one of the latter does miss, as Steel Wing is wont to do in my experience. Slacking does eventually eat the berry to recover some health, not that it really matters as we keep picking our moments to strike, and eventually we take it down hard to give us the 5th badge. Next mandatory major fight is the Weather Institute rival fight, and this one really should not be a problem, I'd imagine. Bar some horrible experiences under Cycling Road, the Gen 3 rival is never really that bad. Lombre goes for a fake out, but we take the hit and respond on the next turn by dropping it with a super effective Aerial Ace. Slugma also goes down to Aerial Ace in the next round before Marsh Stomp comes out and we smack into it with Facade for a one hit knockout, which lets us move on. In Fortree City we get the Hidden Power TM and I set out to see what it is that we've got because we are pretty lacking for coverage. I test it out on the Kecleon on the bridge outside and discover that it's the Fire type. Now that is handy because we have the Flying Gym next and I'm somewhat concerned about facing Winona's Skarmory. That's liable to be a pretty annoying opponent since we don't normally get anything effective versus it. The rest of her team shouldn't be too bad, but let us see. It might not be a move I keep long term, but it will help out here for sure. I say it might not be, but we have got Ice and Steel types later to worry about too. Anyway, Swablu is a one hit with Aerial Ace, and next is Tropius, which is an interesting choice from her, but we drop that with Aerial Ace too. Pelipper is next, and it's a bit tougher. It goes for Protect, of course, before surviving our second Aerial Ace on a sliver. She heals it, and we have to take it out with 2 Facades, it managing to stomach the blows. Skarmory is 4th, it survives our Hidden Power, and we get a flinch thanks to the King's Rock my Hoenn picked up, before we take it out with the second attack. Last is Altaria, and it survives our first attack before hitting Dragon Breath, and I dare it to paralyse us, but it doesn't. Probably best for it, but it then goes down anyway with our next attack to give us the win. I do have choices next as to where I go because the map is nicely open now. Lilico City Rival Fight or Magma Hideout Maxi Fight. Choices. I go for the rival first because I want to go get some items from the department store, which is usually my main reason for coming here and doing this fight. Tropius is first and we drop it with Aerial Ace. Slugma is next and that also doesn't stand up to our Aerial Ace before Ludicolo is third and we drop that with Aerial Ace just for a change. Marsh Stomp is last and we clatter it down with Facade to give us the win. The next major fight is a long way away and we have the second duel with Maxi, this time inside his volcano lair. There's the whole session of exposition about Groudon and how he wants to expand the land before the fight begins, and I am a little miffed that 1 Intimidate affects our attack stat so badly. We are 31 levels higher and we cannot one-hit my Tiina with Facade, though perhaps we are lucky that it misses Scary Face. He heals it and we then manage to drop it with a crit Aerial Ace. Camerupt is next and it survives our Facade, prompting a Rock Slide, which does about a third of our health. That could have been worse. He heals it and we take it out with 2 more Aerial Ace attacks to drop it. Crobat survives Facade and thankfully only goes to Wing Attack rather than Confuse Ray, which we can brush off and end it on the next turn. Next major fight could be rough as it's Psychic Gym time, and I sense another session of grinding coming up ahead of victory there, given I worry that we're going to take a lot of damage being 2 on wand as we will be. I'm going to try and make a Shell Bell beforehand, but real world time might screw me here. Hopefully not. While I'm travelling to Moss Deep City, let's talk about what's ongoing with the channel. So, playthrough wise, we had a week of it. On Sunday, we had episode 2 of the Hogwarts Legacy playthrough, which is an enjoyable game so far, I'll say that much. Monday and Friday brought us episodes 25 and 26 of Skyward Sword. I can't say anything about that I haven't already said. There's only so many variations of love the story, hate the combat out there. Tuesday and Thursday brought episodes 6 and 7 of Pokemon Gold Universe, which is definitely enjoyable so far. I always find it amazing what these ROM hack creators can do, I must say. And Wednesday was episode 2 of Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is a good experience playing again. I have played through that on the channel before, but not an in-depth one. Rather, a quick charge through where I blasted everything in sight with a minigun. Challenge-wise, this is the second one of Bird Pokemon Month. Last week was the premiere, as I took on Pokemon Silver with a single Pidgey. Next week is a fun one, as we deviate from the regional birds for the moment, or the traditional ones anyway, and head to Gen 5 as I use a Pokemon that I've wanted to use in a challenge for a while. Actually, use a Pokemon I've just wanted to use in a playthrough for a long time. Join me as I see if I can beat Pokemon Black with just a single Rufflet. It is sure to be interesting. As always, if you have any ideas for future challenges, then head to the comments section below or follow the links in the description to my Twitter or my Discord. It might not get used straight away, but I do keep a record of all challenge submissions, so it might get used in the future. Also, in the description of the video, you can find a link to my Patreon if you want to support the channel in a financial way. Either way, thanks for watching, folks. Right then, the Psychic Gym. Let's see how badly this goes, because I've really not got confidence on us being able to do it at this level. I may replace Facade with Return. I had an idea with Facade, but it's really perhaps not a practical one. Return does more base damage, and plus it will still do boosted damage with our Guts ability if we do get a status affliction. We'll see anyway, I guess. It doesn't go too badly, but it perhaps reinforces what I just said, that I may need Return for more raw power. We can't one-hit Xatu or Claydol with Facade. The former just survives it on red health, and the latter does well over a third of our health with a psychic attack, so that isn't good. We do manage to take Claydol out with a second attack and Aerial Ace, and we do take Lunatone out with a Steel Wing too, so that last point is very good to know, but Xatu does finish us off with a Psychic, so not bad, but food for thought. I make another try a few levels higher. It's still not 3 AM real world time, so I can't go get the rest of the parts of the Shell Bell, but I have replaced Facade with Return. So let's see if this effort goes any kind of better. I think whatever happens, it will be close, but we'll see. Xatu on the first turn gets taken out with Return, while Claydol drops Wynaut with Earthquake, but it doesn't affect Taillow, which is really, really nice. On the next turn, Solrock comes out and we drop that with a Steel Wing, while Claydol wastes a turn with Light Screen, which is good given that we're not going to be firing hidden powers at it. Lunatone also goes down to Steel Wing, but we get hit with a Psychic from Claydol that lowers our special defence, so that's worrying. However, we one-hit that with Return in the next round to give us the win and the 7th badge. Next is a battle with Archie, and I guess there's reasons to be concerned, but not too many. I think it'll be the same things we have to worry about as versus Maxi. Mightyena spamming debuffs and Crobat potentially confusing us. Plus, it's a pain to get back to this fight if we wipe. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyway, when he begins with his Mightyena, we crit that with Return to one-hit the Dark Doggo, and that's a great start. Crobat is a little tougher. It survives our Return on a Sliver and blasts us with Air Cutter, which doesn't do too much damage, and even though he uses a Super Potion, next turn we take it out with another Return. Sharpedo is last and we hit a Return to end it, meaning that the world is saved. Almost, anyway. After all the Rayquaza shenanigans, we've got the Water Gym, and I'm a lot more confident here than I normally am. Juan's Kingdra is normally awful because it has double team, but it can do that as much as it likes today, and it's going to get an Aerial Ace right in the face. Okay, so the first effort, when it comes, is a bit deflating. I mean, we do everything right that we can do. He begins with Love Disc, and it's nice that we are faster than that for once as we one-hit that with Return. We do the same thing to Celio. We do crit it, but I'm not sure if that was necessary or not. Then comes Kingdra. It narrowly survives our Return, and then one hits us from full health when we're nearly 30 levels higher with a crit Ice Beam. I think we would have survived that if not for it being a crit, if I'm honest. That's just unfortunate. I am going to try that again. I make it back straight away. I think if that move hadn't crit, we'd have had a very different fight. So let's see how it goes in a second attempt. Love Disc is the same result. We wreck it with a Return to give us an early win. Celio, same thing happens again as we down it with Return. The crit wasn't necessary in the previous attempt after all. Kingdra survives our Return once again and this time goes for double team. He heals it and we drop it with 2 Aerial Ace attacks, and that is deeply, deeply, deeply satisfying. Whiscash goes down to Return before Crawdont is last, and we also take that down with Return to give us that precious 8th badge. I get the Shell Bell before I head into Victory Road, and here we have to do the fight with Wally, which is sure to be interesting. We are getting closer to the end now, so we will have to see how things develop from here. Versus Wally, Altaria is first and we take it out with a single Return. So yeah, so far so good. Magneton is next, which is worrying, particularly as it survives our hidden power and then blasts us with Thunderbolt. The attack leaving us on 5 HP from full health. That could have been worse, but not by much. He heals it, but we take it out with 2 more hidden powers, managing to get some health back with the Shell Bell on both counts. Delcatty is third, and we take that out with Return for more health recovery before out fourth is Gardevoir, and we also manage to take that out with Return. All the while, more health coming back from our Shell Bell. We get back into yellow health at this point. Last is Roselia, and we take that out with Aerial Ace to give us the win, so that we can move deeper into Victory Road. It's not too long before I make it to Evergrande City, and as I stand in the Pokemon League, here are our stats at level 82. Speed is exceptional, attack is okay, everything else is a little worrying, but there is not much we can do about it. I think our best chance is to try and one-hit as much as we can and hope we don't take blows that hurt too much if we do get attacked. And with a foolproof strategy like that, how can I lose? Take your guesses on if I can do it at this level or not. Now, folks! Dark Trainer Sydney is first, and we are going to be at a disadvantage right from the start as we're going to get intimidated by Mightyena. Our attack isn't super high, so that could be a problem. But at least he has 2 grass types on his team, so that should be easy enough to deal with. It is not a clean fight, but we don't have any major problems. Mighty Hienas Intimidate wrecks our attack to the point that our moves don't always one hit. It survives return and then Sand attacks us, which is annoying. He heals it, we drop it with an aerial ace and then a return, though going for the latter move is a gamble at this point. Absol is next. We hit that with an aerial ace for slightly about over half its health while it goes for Swords Dance. It then eats a berry to heal and we have to take it out with return. Shiftry survives aerial ace but goes for double team, meaning that we can drop it with another aerial ace before Cacturn is at least a one hit with aerial ace. Crawdont is last. It survives aerial ace before powering up with Swords Dance. That's worrying, but we drop it with return for a win. Ghost Trainer Phoebe is next, and this one could be rough. We are minus our most powerful move for this fight, due to the unfortunate matter of them being immune to return, so we'll have to see what we can do. Not much is the answer, as it goes badly. We lose so many turns in the first round versus Dusclops number 1, thanks to it having Protect. It survives our aerial ace, and what doesn't help is the fact that it lands a Confuse Ray on us, and we hit ourselves twice in confusion, before it does take itself out with Curse. That's not helpful. Bayonet comes out after, and though we do land an aerial ace, it takes us out with a psychic attack, prompting us to get wrecked. I don't think we can do this at this level. I fight back at level 87, hopeful that I can see some improvements here. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We shall have to see. Everything crossed that it doesn't go as badly as last time. I would say it couldn't, but there is always worse. It is slightly better, but not by much. Once again, thanks to Dusclops landing Confuse Ray on us on the second turn, we hit ourselves in confusion a whole bunch of times, and as a result, we take a lot of damage while it spams Protect over and over, which is irritating. At least it didn't curse us this time, but that is scant consolation. We do more damage to the Bayonet, but again, can't one hit it and get taken out by a Facade. I come back at level 92, and I think we'll probably have more fortune versus the Bayonet here, but the Dusclops could still be rough if I can't pull something out of the bag. We can't have as bad a luck with confusion again, can we? We shall see. Again, we lose quite quickly. We do have marginally better confusion luck this time, but not by much. Again, we get hit with Confuse Ray, but we can at least 2-hit Dusclops with Steel Wing this time. Though, we are still confused when we go into Bayonet, and you can probably guess what happens next. Bayonet also knows Thunderbolt, and that inflicts massive damage on us. We survive with a sliver of health, and as a result, go down on the next turn, despite striking Bayonet with an aerial ace that it just about survives. We are not getting much fortune here. I might put double team back on. I'm not likely going to get much use out of hidden power at this point, so it is a logical choice. I come back in at level 97. I am running out of ceiling space here, which is quite worrying. Let's see if we've reached a tipping point yet. This time goes somewhat better. We double team on the first turn when Dusclops goes for Protect, and then we very nearly one hit it with aerial ace, only for it to go for Confuse Ray. She heals it, we hit ourselves in confusion, but we shake it off very quickly afterwards and just keep hammering into it with Steel Wing and aerial ace attacks as it spams Protect. I wonder if it genuinely can't damage us and eventually we take it out. Bayonet is a one hit with aerial ace, that's Bayonet number 1, before Dusclops number 2 is next. It tanks our Steel Wing, eating the berry to restore its health, and then blasts us with 2 ice beams that leave us weak. We can hammer into it with aerial ace attacks though, and we do bring it down, though it is close and I am sweating come the end of it. Bayonet number 2 is a one hit with aerial ace before Sableye also goes down to aerial ace. Phew, that was rough. really, really rough. Ice Trainer Glacier is next, and hopefully this one is easier. I say hopefully, but keep in mind there's a very real chance of us being hit with super effective damage consistently in this fight due to us being weak to ice, so I'm not holding my breath. At least we can use our most powerful move again, though, so that's something. Celio, number 1, goes down to return. I've missed that move in those efforts versus Phoebe. Glalie, number 1, goes down to return as well. Celio, number 2, goes down to return. There's a pattern developing here, wouldn't you say? Glalie, number 2, gets 1 hit by return as well. So far, so good. Walrein actually survives return on a fraction of its health, and we get hit with an Ice Beam for massive damage. But we do survive it, thankfully, and we can take it out with Aerial Ace and return after Glacier tries to save it with a full restore. Phew! That was very nearly defeat from the jaws of victory right there. Dragon Trainer Drake is next, and this one could go either way. He has some rock moves on hand, so that's potentially very worrying indeed. But I think we could be okay if I'm honest. I just need the right conflux of circumstances at the start of the fight. This fight goes insanely well from my perspective. Shelgon goes to protect at the start while we double team. About the only blemish is the double protect, meaning that we waste a turn, but on the third turn we one-hit Shelgon with return. Salamence is next, which is annoying as it means intimidate. It survives our return before missing Dragon Claw, which is massive. We take it out the next turn with another return. Altaria is third. It survives our return while going for a Dragon Dance before he heals it, and we then come back to take it out with an Aerial Ace, followed swiftly by a return. Kingdra is a one-hit crit with return, and that was fortunate, before Flygon is last. It survives return and misses Dragon Breath before Drake heals it, and we have to drop it with 2 Aerial Aces to give us the victory. Wow, so much stuff went right there, it was ridiculous. Wallace then. I have no idea how we'll fare here. This really could go either way. I mean, I might need to try a few things, see how they go, but I can see this taking multiple attempts, and I might need even to be max level. I'll try it where we are and see how it goes. Wailord is first, and I Aerial Ace it to weaken any water spout that comes our way. It goes for Rain Dance before I throw up a double team. Water spout misses, which is massive. I use another double team, and at the second attempt it lands Water Spout on us and does 100 points of damage. I decide to take it out then as my nerves go and we drop it. Tentacruel is next, and we one-hit that with return, which is a relief. Milotic is third, and we also one-hit that with return. I wasn't expecting it, but I'll take it. Ludicolo is fourth, which is strange, but we drop it with return before Whiscash is next, and that is also taken out with return, which means Gyarados is last, for which I am grateful. It survives return thanks to the Intimidate it unleashes upon us before going for Dragon Dance. We then strike an Aerial Ace to end it as a threat, meaning that his last Pokemon goes down, and just like that, we've won the run and become the champion of the Hoenn region. Wallace takes us to the Hall of Fame, and we can register our Taillow as the top 1% of Taillow. Wow, I didn't expect it to end like that. I didn't expect Phoebe to be the hardest fight in the game, but we got there. You know when I make these predictions at the start? Yeah, that is at the start of the video. That is not with hindsight. That is genuinely what I think at the time, so I didn't expect it. Phew, I'm out of breath after that battle. Or I was. I'm recording the voiceover a few hours later. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, drop a subscribe or comment away. Help by doing whatever you can in the name of the almighty YouTube algorithm. Help more people discover the channel. As always, if you have any ideas for future challenges, drop them in the comments section down below or follow the links in the description to my Twitter or my Discord. Join me again next time for another Pokemon challenge as we continue Bird Pokemon month and see if I can beat Pokemon Black using just a single Rufflet. That'll be fun for sure. As I said, I've wanted to use Rufflet in a challenge for quite a while. I'm off work now, folks. I'm free for 2 weeks, and so I'm looking forward to getting some top quality gaming done that will no doubt be shared with you in the fullness of time. So, yeah, I'm ready for a breather and ready to get some R&R in. At the time of writing, I'd just been to see the movie Cocaine Bear, which was good, but yeah, not much new to report on other than that. All that's really left to say is that I'm signing out now. As always, folks, this has been a Once and Future Gamer. This has been Pokemon Emerald with a single Taillow. Take care now, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye now. So long.